Johnny,
Pop.
JB, here we are, episode 2 of Irreverent Aliens.
That's right.
Welcome back, y'all.
Welcome.
If you're back, sorry. We still don't know what the show is about, but we feel like we're onto something, John.
That's right.
What are we onto?
Well, I feel like the Marvel stuff's been getting kind of, a little bit of attraction. People want to hear about that stuff,
And surprisingly, we also want to talk about that stuff.
That's right.
So I think everybody is happy, right?
I mean, if you can make a living off of talking about Marvel, who wouldn't want that life?
That's the okay. I just want to say that. Just want to be open and give a full disclaimer that that's what I'm trying to do here, Johnny. My goal. The music thing is cool, I like to sing and make impact in people's lives and stuff, but if Marvel said, hey, drop all that right now, stop all this, you're trying to change the world and
that's right.
Just come make music for us, I'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
Say when, I'll move wherever it is.
That's right.
I'm there.
So, I mean, soundtrack for Black Panther,
let's
man.
Go.
Let's go. Let's go.
All of it, I'm ready.
Maybe even Captain America.
Yes, if it's part of the contract, sure. But Black Panther.
I mean, he's African American. He's not African.
Oh so, yeah, of course. The new one.
The new one. Yes.
Although I'm not really resonating with him as much. I need to see a full length movie. I mean, I like the show. I liked where they took the story with that, but I'm not as bought into him as I am, other characters. So
okay.
We'll see.
So it's not a black thing.
I would like to say yes. It is not
okay
a black thing. I am not a traitor of
You mean he's
people.
Just not? He's not quite a compelling character.
I don't think it's him. I think the writing hasn't made it convincing yet. I think it will get there. I just feel like that show just introduced the idea of him being that at the end. It's like, okay, cool, but I'm not bought in right the way I was with Rogers.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I remember thinking how there was a big difference between the Falcon, Captain America, and like Black Panther.
Right.
And I mean, because I know you, I was looking at it from the lens of, the Black Panther being an African character.
Right.
Although he was very popular even here in the U.S.
Yeah, right.
Among the African American community. But definitely the narrative of the two characters are very different.
Very different.
And
very different.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they went all in on, I think, the African American struggle in the U.S., which is, I think, it's a little different from the African struggle, globally speaking, right? So,
it's different.
Yeah.
So,
yep,
we'll see. But like we've established, in Marvel we trust. So
that's right.
They'll figure it out.
Yep.
So John, what are we talking about today? A lot.
Whew. Wow. A lot has happened in the last few weeks.
So, what's happened?
I mean, all the stuff that has come out about Doctor Strange.
Yep.
I don't know I was very excited about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I might be as excited or might be even more excited about this movie.
Yeah.
And
you should be.
Yeah, and all the leaks that have occurred, I don't know if that's part of their marketing strategy. I kind of think it is. I mean,
I think because like we all know, Marvel is more secure than
that's right.
The U.S. military. They have their stuff down.
Yeah. So last week there was a TV spot, like a 30-second teaser. They've been releasing one like every day for like last couple weeks. They released one, and it was like released in Canada, and it said this Friday.
Right.
So everybody was saying, oh, it was a mistake. It was supposed to come out this week, but then it came out last week. But I'm just like, so you're telling me that some random dude in Canada accidentally released
I don't buy it.
A trailer a week early.
I don't buy it.
You know, and I mean, there were 3 major leaks in that TV spot. Yep. And people were like, actually, I heard that some fans were upset because like the movies are being spoiled. Yeah. You know?
I think it's intentional. I think it gets the conversations going. Right. It gets people going. Yep. And we're all hyped to see it.
Yeah. So. Like I'm just so hyped because of those leaks. I don't even, because where I'm at is if they're leaking these characters, I can't imagine what the surprises actually, will be.
I know.
You know? Yeah. Because I mean, do you know about
I know enough, but I'm also like going in blind. Like I've seen some of those leaks. I'm like, oh, nope. And then at times I'll like get weak and indulge, you know. Yeah. But for the most part, I just want to go in.
Right.
I'm one of those fans who like it's after I watch the movie that I then go and look for all the Easter eggs, all the stuff that I missed. But before I'm like, no. Just 1 trailer, 2 trailers, maybe 3 trailers. And then I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I read everything. You know, I will avoid like, you know, if it's an actual spoiler, like if it's from somebody who went and saw the movie and it's like, hey, I'll avoid that.
Right.
But if it's like in the news and people are guessing and they're analyzing trailers and all that, I'm like, I'm all in. I read all that stuff. Like
I do that after to see what I missed. Yeah. Because I go in and I say, okay, what, like it's almost like a game for me. Like what are all the things that I can catch?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then afterwards, I'm like, okay, what did I miss? And then I watch all these things. I'm like, man, I missed a lot. You know?
Yeah. So one of the like overanalyzing of the trailers and stuff, you know, an eagle-eyed fan, I mean, people watch these teaser trailers. I don't do this, but people watch them at like, you know, 0.25 speed, right?
Wow.
And so they're just a 2-minute trailer becomes like 8 minutes.
Right.
And then they want to, you know, see every little detail. Yeah. And some people think that there's a crossover between Marvel and Star Wars.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I mean, if you think about it, they're both owned by Disney.
Sure.
So Disney can do it if they want to.
Sure.
I think Marvel Comics...
Sorry, go on.
I think Marvel Comics actually started to produce some Star Wars comics, you know? So I think that's happening. But in this particular trailer, when Doctor Strange is like tumbling through the multiverse and you have all these different shots, you know, everything, it's very fast. So it's like a split second. There is a shot of a volcanic planet, lava, fire. Yeah. And people think that it looks like planet Mustafar.
I have no idea how to say, but your guess is as good as mine.
Episode 3, where Anakin Skywalker turns to the dark side and, like, you know, kills Natalie Portman. I don't even know the character's name. Yeah. And, you know, but that's that planet. So people are like, oh my gosh, you know, it exists in the multiverse.
Right.
But
I was wondering about that just as you were saying, because I've been wondering if at all there will be a tie-in between Moon Knight and Multiverse of Madness. And if you've not seen Moon Knight, which I know you haven't yet, dude, you should. I don't know where they're going with this, but I'm all for it.
It's good?
It's good. It's good. I mean, there's the Marvel formula where by like episode 3 or 4, it's kind of like there's nothing happening, and then it just everything's happening. So there's that rough patch that you have to kind of get through. But I think we've seen that over and over again. But the actor, I don't know his name yet, but he's also in Star Wars.
Yes.
So what if there's some version of him that shows up, because in Moon Knight he's also like playing like somebody with split personality, right? So there's that element going on,
right?
And that's also wild and funky on its own. So what if there's like another split person? Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Marvel, take notes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even. I mean, it'd be crazy.
We don't even know.
I mean, the interesting thing with the Star Wars thing is, characters, Marvel characters have referenced Star Wars.
True.
Like in Civil War, remember when Ant-Man grows big, Spider-Man, he's like, hey, you guys remember that really old movie?
Right. And you're like, dude, you watch too many movies.
Yeah. And actually, I think one of the Star Wars movies was like playing in the background. Can't remember. It was like in Captain Marvel or something.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think that would be awesome, and I think with I'm not like a gamer at all, but I think with things like Fortnite that is already doing this like world colliding, thing. I think there's some precedent in like pop culture that would make it make sense. So we'll see.
Yeah. Another thing that an eagle-eyed fan, I guess there's a lot of, I mean, you have to watch it at like slow speed, because when he's tumbling through the multiverse, I guess there's a lot. There's another one where, for a split second, you see cartoons. Like Doctor Strange
Looney
becomes
Tunes?
Animated. And apparently it's the same style of animation
as into the Spideyverse.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were gonna say that.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm waiting for that to happen. That needs to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's the 90s animated X-Men series. And so people are saying that that's how they're going to tie the X-Men into the MCU. Okay. And this last TV spot that had 3 major spoilers that all the fans were very angry about, and I'm just like, it's all planned, guys. Come on. They finally show a shot of Professor X in his iconic yellow floating chair from the animated series. I didn't know any of this actually until I read about it. But
now you do.
Yeah.
Now I do.
Now you
now
know
we all
too.
do.
So yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I'm so excited.
Yep.
I don't even know. Yep.
Well, Twitter's gonna go nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to be in that, because newsflash, guys, I'm kind of a big deal on Twitter now. Okay. I just got verified. Okay. And so from now on, John is always wrong and I'm always right. That's how it works.
You're very versa.
I'm very like I said, I'm always right. He's
Papa
always
very.
wrong. Papa verified.
Yep.
Yeah, no. So it's interesting though, because like now all of a sudden my engagement is up, right? I'm seeing people interact more with my stuff.
Yeah.
And the rate of, like being followed, the rate of me being now followed by people who are seeing my followers retweets, right, is also up. And so
interesting.
Yeah, so because they see this ding, this little thing,
blue stamp.
So now, right, I'm one step closer to getting the job at Marvel.
That's right.
Marvel's like, oh, this guy must be a big deal because he has a badge. He's talking about our stuff. Let's get him a job,
Here in a few months, you'll just be able to buy the blue tag.
Why? Because of Elon Musk?
Yeah.
What, you think he's gonna like monetize every bit of that?
It's not. I mean, actually, I don't know if you'll be able to buy it, and I don't know if I've heard that he might monetize that, but what he wants to do is he wants basically everybody to verify their identity.
Sure.
To get rid of bot,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, I think
that's a great idea.
Yep.
Because I think, I mean, there's your Reddit if you want to be anonymous and just say like a bunch of dumb stuff, fine, go there. But I think I've been on Twitter since 2009. Like I've been OG, you know. Yeah. I'm like, that's even crazy. Me just even saying that out loud, like 2009. What the hell was I doing? But I've been on it and been active on it, and I've seen it be at its best, and I've also seen it be like very toxic.
Yes.
And I think like I'm not forecasting people and all that stuff. I'm like, if you don't like something, just like block it, right? But I think if we can do more to get rid of the toxicity by eliminating that like anonymity that I think exacerbates that, I'm all for that.
Yeah. I mean, that might not eliminate. I think it will help. It will help.
I think it will mitigate it, but I don't think it's going to eradicate. Right. That's fine.
Yeah. And I think that's the. It's funny because I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on Elon Musk buying Twitter, but
sure.
You know, I think a lot of people look at this as like free speech versus censorship, kind of, you know, and that part of it, and it becomes very politicized. But I don't know that a lot of people appreciate the challenges of running a social media company, you know, with hundreds of millions of users all around the world.
It's crazy.
And
I would have won that job.
Right. And so the protocols, the policies that you try to institute to filter out, you know, bad content, that's a very challenging. That's very challenging.
Yeah.
Especially because the internet is so instantaneous and your reach is so great, right? And so, you know, people only want to. People, I think about it in terms of like political hot button type of issues,
controversial stuff.
But if you read anything, if you read articles or watch documentaries or hear about what content moderators have to do, they're moderating content that's like, you know, people getting killed.
Right.
You know,
it's rough.
They're looking at,
very dark
you
stuff.
know, like pornography, filtering that kind of stuff. And so I think the difference is like if you're out in public and somebody is, you know, going crazy, or there's, you know, let's say too much PDA, right? Then, and you have a child and you want to protect your child, well, you can very easily take your child and remove them from that situation. Or people can stop whatever's happening from happening, right? But on the internet, if content that, so I'm not talking about controversial content, I'm talking about content that nobody wants, right?
Sure.
Somebody getting killed. If that video is on there for 3 minutes, it could get hundreds of thousands of views in 3 minutes, right? And so it's different from, you know, like in real life, you know, if there's something that's happening and you don't want your kids to see it, it's very easy to remove them. It's very hard to do that on the internet. And so
it's stickier.
And they're trying to use AI. They're trying to I think that was so challenging is, I mean, this happened to us where somebody reported one of our videos and they took it down.
Yep.
And, you know, I appealed it and it came back up a couple hours later because I think it was like saying there was harassment or bullying, but it had nothing to do with being harassment or bullying. And so, you know, the automated process can be abused, but something has to be there where things can be filtered out, or else it just, you know, nobody should be using the internet.
And so do you think that Elon stands a better chance of making that happen in a more reasonable way?
Well, I think at the very least, what I hope Elon Musk can help figure out is institute a level of transparency around different policies or different actions that Twitter takes. Because I think that's been a major frustration, right?
Right.
Like
more visibility into
and so censoring content that nobody wants to see, like somebody dying or pornography or whatever, that people can agree on. But when it comes to things that people don't agree on, and yet you're not going to be transparent about why it is that you highlight certain things and you try to suppress other things. Yeah, I mean, what's this? How does the algorithm work? It's not just in the news world, but I think it's also a topic of interest amongst artists or creators,
content creators.
Right? Yeah. So is it all random?
We'll see.
Somebody, getting paid under the table or something, you know what I mean?
Always. Always, bro. Always. No matter what it is, there's some hustle going on.
Yep.
I'm from Ghana. I know how it works.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, I like, there were some people who were up in arms about, oh man, we have the richest man in the world now owning this stuff. And I'm like, that's been happening for a while. Like people like Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, and I could go on and on and on. So like that does not scare me at all, because it's been happening. I mean, do I think it's ideal? Probably not, but I think he has shown the capacity to build good products that are valuable to the audience and the market, while also just making them as awesome as possible. So
I mean, Jack Dorsey endorsed him.
Yeah, exactly. And I like Jack. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know him as a guy, but just from
Yeah.
everything that he's done, I'm like,
Right.
yeah, it's cool. So yeah, I'm like, I have no qualms about that. And I'm excited for he seems to have a lot of fun with it. Like Elon has fun on Twitter.
Yes.
And I think that's great.
Yeah.
And so he obviously like really cares about the product.
Yes.
In the same way that I do. And I'm like, yeah, great.
Right.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, he's somebody that I see, like, everything he does, to me, he's getting ready for Mars, colonizing Mars.
You think so? So how is this?
This is the way people communicate. This is the new town hall.
I see.
This is where people exchange
ideas. So he can be in Mars and then.
That's right.
I see.
Whether it's electric cars, whether it's solar panels, whether it's underground tunnels where you have a high. To me, he wants to colonize Mars.
I see.
And I think everything he's doing, that's his thought. That's his goal. But
yeah.
But one of the things, it's interesting you bring up, the world richest man owning Twitter, and how some people view that as a problematic thing. Something that Jack Dorsey brought up in his tweet when he endorsed Elon that I hadn't thought about was how Twitter is owned by its advertisers. So everybody has a master, right? And part of Twitter going private.
I don't have a master, just so you know.
Yeah.
Jeez, this guy talking about everybody.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No.
Geez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody serves somebody.
Sure. Yeah.
Or something. Not somebody, something.
Everybody who's not verified.
That's right.
Go on.
Yep. Yeah. So I definitely serve somebody because I'm not verified in anything. But Twitter, if Elon Musk owns Twitter, and somehow because it's owned by Elon Musk, and they don't have to bend to whatever the advertisers want, then I think it can become a much more robust platform where people can talk about things, but we'll see,
yeah. Thought. Yeah, I don't know that I like fully agree with that point. I don't have a very like condensed and crystallized argument for why, but my first take on it is I don't know, like I think like so if I'm hearing you right, basically like Jack is saying, hey, since it will no longer be owned by the advertisers and owned by the individual who has a good intent, a track record, and so on and so forth, that it's more likely to be a healthier platform. But then I like tend to err on the side of like spreading risk and ownership and all that, right? I would count myself as one of the advertisers. Like I have used it a few times to advertise, right?
Right.
So all of a sudden, like my voice, my perspective, and all that stuff is out, as are the other advertisers on there who are like finding value through having to reach our people on there, versus now that being shifted to like one person. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll have to think about that some more.
Well, I think it all depends on if Elon Musk is actually going to allow it to be a platform where people can have freedom of expression, right? Because part of advertisers controlling a product is there's a lack of freedom of expression. Even as an artist, right? Like if you're under a label versus an independent label that you own, you are going to have limitations.
Sure.
That the major labels are imposing on you, and this is also this conversation came up in the context of Netflix, because Netflix, they're losing subscribers and stock is tanking.
Right.
So
they increased the prices. So
right.
I don't. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's like I pay like $20 a month now.
Jeez. Of course, because lose people.
Yeah, but so now they're like, oh, hey, yeah, the advertisement, the lower price tier with advertisement, maybe that does make sense because we're giving consumers choices, and there are a lot of people who were not happy with it, and they said, I'm done with Netflix if if there's going to be ads,
right?
And you're talking about product placement,
right?
You're talking about I think there is something to be said about how creativity of the creator can become stifled, if you have big money supporting you and they don't like what you're creating because maybe it's too edgy, maybe it's too progressive for its time or whatever, right? And so in that sense, whenever you have a space where you can freely express your thoughts, your ideas, or whatever, and it's not something that is well liked by the financier of that space,
right?
Then you're not gonna feel like you really have the freedom to share that,
right?
And so,
okay.
So yeah, so I don't know. We'll see.
I will think on it some more, and I might have some more thoughts. But my gut is like, I'm not like all the way convinced yet. But,
yeah.
But I don't know why yet.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Yeah, it'll be great. We'll see.
Yeah. But I mean, I also read, I think this morning, that he's planning, or there's a rumor that he might be taking it public again, which I'll be very interested in.
Interesting.
So,
well, it hasn't. So he might not take it private. Is that what he's saying?
Wait, I thought it is it public already?
Yes, Twitter's been public for a while.
So that's what I thought, but I think I read something.
So Twitter's been public,
right?
And when the purchase goes through, because right now, pending shareholder approval,
right,
and it can, there's all these regulatory hoops that it has to go through. Then Elon is gonna take it private.
Sure.
But then you're saying
I read something. I didn't read too deep. I read half of it, and I was like, okay, cool.
Interesting.
And then, but the headline was like, oh, he intends to take it public again. So he might be doing a flip. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
What is so interesting about social media in the last several years is it changed so rapidly, and I think as a society we don't even know how to react to how rapidly things have changed. Because I remember when I was in law school 8 years ago, 8 years ago, this is actually 7 years ago, not even a decade. And taking constitutional law, and in one of the things you talk about and you learn about is First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and all that, right? And I remember asking my professor about Facebook and other forums on the internet where people talk. And so it seems like back then we were living in a world, and way more now, and it's only going to become more and more like that. But there's so many interactions that are happening online. So many exchange of ideas, conversations, all of those things, right? So can you somehow preserve freedom of speech even online? And he was adamant that, hey, it's not really, these are private companies, it doesn't apply, and all of that. But since then, I know that even within the legal world, things have changed. People have changed their minds because it's a place where really it's where people interact. So anyways, so
that's where we're at.
So I'm a futurist.
Okay.
I see things before they happen.
Oh yeah. Hello, Gary V.
But yeah.
So yeah. So I guess that's that, huh? I mean, do you have any more on that free speech kind of like that whole thread? And how it interacts with social media and all that? Because I mean,
oh yeah, one thing that when people say free speech, yes, the freedom to say whatever we want, okay, and I understand that it's hard to it's hard to determine or figure out, okay, which content is okay and which content is not okay. But I think as a society, we have to acknowledge the fact that there are things that we all agree on. For example,
are there things that we all agree on?
So here's an example, right? I believe that there is a difference between somebody, let's say, wanting to talk about a particular idea that's controversial, and somebody just saying, you're a piece of shit, I'm gonna go, To me, there's a difference there.
Yeah.
To me, that's where, all the trolls who all they want to say and do is say horrible things about you
that's
and
the intent,
your
and
family and whatever. I don't know. I would be okay if their speech isn't protected, because to me, it's not contributing to progress.
But then that's where it gets very tricky.
Right. How do you,
how do you determine that?
Who is the judge?
Who is the beholder of that that value judgment?
Yeah.
And that's really like, once you figure it out, then you've solved all the issues that you're having here in the US. But
because definitely, like, for some people, like, misgendering somebody is like saying you,
right? But then for somebody else it's not. And so that's where it gets all over the place. And I lean towards just let it all be. And if you don't like it, you block it or something, and then you just keep it moving, But that's just me.
Yeah. But what about like warnings and stuff like that?
Warnings like what?
So sensitive content warnings.
Yeah, sure.
You think that's okay?
I think that's helpful, yeah, because it's not.
But you're still making that value judgment. Like, on what things do you put the sensitive content warning, and what things do you,
But I think there's value judgment, and then there's like erasure, right? Yes. And so like that's fine, right? And again, that's also one other like gray area. Yeah. That it's like, okay, who's making that? Whatever, that's fine. But I think I have an appetite that can handle that. But where you just completely like erase, that's where it gets a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
And by default, maybe what you do is just by default, everything has a door that people have to choose to walk in.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I think the idea that you have Twitter or a team of people or an AI or a community complaint-based system where, some third party is going to determine whether they're going to put this sensitive warning on your content or not.
Right.
I think that's because you have to make that value judgment, right? And people disagree on that.
Sure.
And if you're a content creator, that stifles your content going out.
Sure.
And if your livelihood, for example, depends on that, then it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not good,
But then that's on you, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, like,
you should just be making children's songs.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that's on you. But look, like, I'm just with my background in econ and finance, like, the market will decide, right? The market will do what the market does. And so if your content is good or whatever, like, the market will make that value judgment really quickly. And so I think just let the barriers to entry be nil, just let people in, and then like, people will decide. If they want it, then they will like it. If they don't, they block you and keep it moving.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway.
Exciting times, man.
Exciting times. Social media, Marvel. So how does it connect? Wait, how did we get here? No, we talked about
you being blowing verified.
Up. No, that was one step. So we were talking about the spoilers and everything, and how the movie's gonna blow up on Twitter, and then that's how we got here. Okay, I was trying to figure out.
It's gonna blow up everywhere,
but on Twitter first. Everything happens on Twitter first.
It seems like that. Yes.
And and maybe in 2 weeks, like 2 weeks after, then it gets onto Facebook. That's what happens.
Things blow up on TikTok.
True, things blow up on TikTok. How do I put it? It's yeah. I'll say now it's probably like a race between Twitter and TikTok, but I'll say like things make their entry first on to Twitter, because it's easier. It's easier to just write rather than to make a whole thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So I still think Twitter leads.
Yeah. I think both of those platforms are culturally so relevant.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, I guess so is Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, but
TikTok, we didn't see it coming. I mean,
no,
some people did, but we saw it. It was kind of there. Oh, okay, what's this thing? It's kind of like musically, all that stuff. But then it's just because I was thinking, like, after Instagram, I'm like, okay, like what could beat this? And I've been asking myself that like every new thing, right? And then we've seen TikTok. We're like, what is this? And I'm sure now we're like, okay, what did this? There could be nothing else, but
I still don't understand why it got so popular. Honestly, I don't know if it's the algorithm. Some people talk about it being the algorithm. I don't know if it was just a bunch of teenagers, making dance videos. I don't know. I have no idea.
I think in any market, right, whoever wins out is the one who can like figure out how to give people what they want the fastest.
Yes.
I think that's what the algorithm did.
Yep.
It figured out in like 2 days of you using this app,
right.
I'm going to figure you out.
Right.
And I mean, that's like what Amazon did, right? They're like, okay, we're going to learn about you, your habits. And then, we recommend you buy this, recommend you buy that, recommend that. So I think that same mentality of being able to give people what they want the fastest, I think that's fundamentally why they won and why they're still winning.
Right. Yeah. That's what Gary Vee said too.
See, I'm just like Gary Vee.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're the black Gary Vee.
the African Gary.
That's good. But he was like when he got into TikTok, people around him was like, Gary, why are you getting this is like so for kids, teenagers? Sure. They're like making lip sync dancing videos, and he was like, no, this is the next big thing.
Yeah.
And he says, Instagram, it's the algorithm is follower based, based on who you follow.
Sure. Right. Exactly.
TikTok,
it's what you want.
Your interests.
What do you want?
It measures how long you stay on a video, what kind of video, and then it just
that's
creates a digital
gives you a buffet of just it's like, oh, you like this flavor, this piece of candy, this meat, whatever.
Yep.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what won. So I think like the next thing that would win will be the thing that can do that even faster, even more accurately, read your mind even before, whatever. And I'm sure we'll get there someday, but
that's like, gosh, what's that Netflix comedian, the Asian comedian,
Asian, like which Asian, South Asian,
Chinese.
Wow, John. You just assumed.
Gosh, what's his name? Danny Chang.
Ronnie.
Yeah,
on,
Ronnie talks about it.
John.
He's like,
Should
Amazon.
I say why you shouldn't know? Anyway.
Amazon Prime was 2-day delivery, and then they went to same-day delivery.
Right.
And I can't remember. It's hilarious. He talks about, what's gonna come before is like, what's gonna come next is like, Amazon before or something.
Before you even think about it, it's
before you even know that it's coming. It's at your door.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh
that's exactly
God.
right. Anticipate.
Yep.
That's the future.
That's right.
Web3.
Yeah.
That's where it's going, right?
My greatest hope. Well, not greatest hope, but I actually bought Bumble.
You did?
Stocks at its IPO.
When? Oh, IPO.
At
okay.
IPO. So it's
how's it doing?
It's not doing very well.
It's like me and Robin Hood.
Yeah. Robin Hood is not good right now.
It's so bad.
But I was looking at Tinder, and Tinder's parent company, I mean, it's just the growth has been explosive. And Bumble seems to have some really good visionaries, good executives. It being like, women-oriented company, like where we are going as a culture. I felt like, it has a chance to get really big. So hopefully it'll get big. But hopefully one of these companies will figure out the whole Amazon before kind of thing, right? Because whoever figures that out, it will become the matchmaking app, right? But it's a major problem, right? People have a hard time meeting in person. People want to date online, but online dating sucks. Actually, I have no idea.
I'm like, how do you know? You've been married.
Yeah, this is what people tell me. I've never done online dating.
Yeah.
But I own Bumble, so I have to read about it.
Yeah, you read about it,
I'm like, this is the future.
You watch YouTube videos about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, when I bought the IPO, I was like, well, online dating is the future.
Sure.
So,
it is, yeah.
But from what I hear,
Go on.
It works for very, small number of people. And so, like, if they could figure out a way to, like, find you potential partners before you even know that you would like this person, and then you match. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yep.
People are gonna love that. People are looking like, please, let's work, less, having to, that'll be very interesting. But I mean, anyway. I mean, we can go on and on about the longevity of that kind of a relationship and the hard work that needs to go into getting to know somebody through conversations and conflict, and through those things, like discovering the things that you like about that person or don't like. And so, but I don't know, maybe I'm just old school, there, but I'm sure there'll be an app for all of that too. So
that's right. Old school meets old school.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. But hey,
go back to the way we did things before.
But I mean, I don't even know how people. I mean, I'm like talking as if I've been like married for like years, but I have a hard time thinking how I would date now. Just like what do you you don't you just go on the app and you just.
I mean, think about it. Like, if you don't meet somebody in school, like, where else are you gonna meet people?
Work, gym, some faith gathering, whether that's a church or a mosque or a temple or whatever.
Yep.
I don't know.
So it's very limited. Like,
club.
Yes, but are you really going to find like
people do?
People do. Very rare. Very rare. But yeah, I mean, especially now that people work from home,
True.
People work out from home, people go to church from home.
True.
It's like, you have to meet people in the metaverse. That's what's gonna happen.
That's what's happening.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know where or how people even meet other people nowadays. So.
Discord.
Yes. Common interest. Yep.
Anyway.
That's the future. Movie theater. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
You're like, hey.
Yep.
Hey, babe.
Hey. That's right.
Look at that scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, one thing, in the last episode, I mentioned that there are rumors about Superior Iron Man, played by Tom Cruise. Well, it's been pretty much debunked.
Great.
Yeah. So well, I mean, I guess we won't know until we watch the movie.
But I mean, like Tom himself has said before in some interview, I think I read it a long time ago, that he doesn't want to do any of that stuff because he's like trying to build his thing, right? What he's done with Mission Impossible, like that's what he wants to do, right? He wants to make that the new James Bond, the new thing that can kind of have its own like mythology and just that whole like world building thing.
That's right.
I have a hard time seeing him go back on that, and he's much older now.
Right.
It doesn't.
Well, so sense. Even if it's not Tom Cruise, right? People wanted to see Superior Iron Man.
Sure.
In this movie, but the shot of a character that looks like Superior Iron Man in the leak, whatever the leak TV spot, it's very clear that it's a variant of Captain Marvel, and people are saying it's Monica Rambeau, her friend.
Right. I don't know.
So,
she's
yeah. Oh no!
WandaVision.
Is it no, in WandaVision was that Monica?
Monica, no. Wait, Monica is
is the daughter.
The daughter of the black girl. Yeah. And she was in WandaVision.
No, people are saying that the Captain Marvel in the movie is a variant of Maria Rambeau.
Okay. So the mom?
So, yes, the mom.
Okay.
So I guess it would be like, instead of Carol Danvers right? Is that right?
I don't know.
Whatever. Brie Larson. Instead of Brie Larson being on that plane when it blew up or whatever, it was her best friend.
Gotcha.
So
interesting.
It'll be interesting. But the big reveal.
Yep.
Did you hear?
For Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, the thing that people really pissed about because people knew about the Professor X and all that, but they actually maybe it wasn't a spoiler because it was in the poster. I mentioned it.
Jeremy's like, no.
I mentioned it it was in the poster. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah. Shield of Captain Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's now a freaking shot of Captain Carter in the TV spot.
Really?
A shot of her shield, and people are mad. I
saw it coming though.
Yeah,
because I mean, with what if?
That's right.
What if just opened all of the doors and then like Loki too? So with What If and Loki, I was like, yeah, anything is possible now, and including everything we've already seen before. Yeah. So I don't see why everyone's mad. And like, yeah.
But that's where I am just so I can't stop talking about how excited I am. If they are revealing these surprises.
Sure.
What is going to be their Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire moment in the movie?
Right.
Whatever it's going to be, it's going to blow my mind, right?
Or what if it's actually a leak? What if that's actually it? Will be let down.
I would be pissed.
Biggest letdown.
Yeah, I would.
You'll be so pissed because we rented a whole theater just to go see this.
That's right. If there are not more reveals and surprises that we haven't already gotten in all these leaks or whatever, I will be I will walk out of that theater.
No, you won't. You will watch the whole thing.
I mean, I'll walk out after the movie ends, but I will walk out of that theater in a very, I am not happy about this kind of manner. So.
Yeah, sure.
Well, because if something crazy happens, I will be, I won't walk out of the theater. I will skip out of the theater. I'll be very happy. So,
okay.
Yeah.
We're watching it this weekend.
That's right.
Opening weekend.
Sunday.
So I guess we'll have to talk about it in our next episode.
That's right.
There'll be a ton of spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched it by then in our next episode.
Well, my idea is every spoiler, I'm going to beep it out.
Which will be the whole episode.
So, but, oh, man. I don't know. I'm excited.
Me too.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be good.
Yep.
Is that it?
That's it. I think so.
Okay.
All we talked about was Doctor Strange and Twitter and Elon and...
I like how we take off on our episodes, if this was like a plane, this would be the bumpiest ride
That's right.
in the world. we take off we're off now. And then we're like, you just land all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. There's no Captain warning. Oh, we're now descending at 1,000 feet. Yeah. No, it's like, we're here. Yeah. We're here now. So anyway, if you've been listening, thank you for spending some time with us and nerding out about all the things we like to nerd about. Hope you like and subscribe and leave a review or comment on whichever platform you are listening to this on.
Yep.
We really appreciate you.
Yeah, and if you guys have anything that you want us to talk about, you just let us know.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
And want to give a shout out to our buddy Jeremy Jed, helping us with just the visuals and tech and everything. So he's also just as big of a nerd and all this. So we will have him on the show whenever he would like that too. So, but anyway,
Mr. Producer,
love it.
That's right.
Alrighty.
All right.
Sign out.
Oh wait.
What? We'll talk about it next time.
Okay.
Next time.
Okay.
Yep. All right. I appreciate y'all.
All right. Peace out.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Episode 2 is done.
How long was that one?
55 minutes.
Oh my gosh. I thought it was half an hour.